Year 9, 10, 11, welcome to an example response on romantic love in Romeo and Juliet. It's a student response. It was done in exam conditions. I think this is pretty much your grade 8, your grade 9. So let's have a look at what the student has done. The extract that was given was Act 1, Scene 1, when Romeo and Benvolio are talking and Romeo is miserable about Rosaline. So we've got Shakespeare presents the theme of romantic love through the tragic love story of the protagonists. Specifically in Act 1, Scene 5, when blasphemous language is used to highlight the importance of each other, romantic love is shown through the lovers' tragic flaws, acting in haste. Ultimately, their genuine love for one another results in serious consequences, untimely death. The irony being the couple's fate was destined to doom since the use of the prologue. In the extract, Shakespeare introduces the character of Rosaline by comparing her to a Roman goddess. She hath Diana's wit. Diana was the goddess of chastity and virginity, and also of hunting, the moon, and childbirth. By symbolically comparing Rosaline to the moon, Shakespeare subtly infers Romeo's inner conflict, as later on, Romeo describes Juliet using light imagery. Arise, fair sun, kill the envious moon. Ironically, the moon being Rosaline and the sun being Juliet. Metaphorically, Shakespeare is making evident the disparity of unrequited love with Rosaline versus the romantic love with Juliet. Furthermore, Rosaline and Romeo's unrequited love is emphasised when she's got Diana's wit. Here, Shakespeare is presenting to the audience the moral traditions of the Elizabethan times. Rosaline is smart enough not to have sex with Romeo, as loss of virginity before marriage was unacceptable for young women in this period. However, in contrast, unlike Rosaline, Juliet isn't compared to the goddess Diana. Instead, Diana is in fact jealous of Juliet, envious moon. The adjective envious exaggerates this. Shakespeare's use of blason elevates Juliet's heavenly status and heightens their romantic love for each other. Also in the extract, Romeo is presented as a Petrarchan lover. His choice of words doesn't portray romantic love with Rosaline. She is rich in beauty. Romeo's view of Rosaline is superficial. She is beautiful and therefore rich in beauty, but refuses to have sex or she'll die poor, as her riches will be buried with her. In addition, Romeo uses religious imagery. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making Rosaline, by refusing romantic love, is earning heavenly rewards bliss, but consequently driving Romeo to sin of despair. Romeo's repetition of two emphasises Rosaline's overdoing of romantic love. Therefore, she doesn't merit bliss. Alternatively, though, Romeo could be expressing his unrequited love by exclaiming that Rosaline is too beautiful for him. Similarly, Romeo uses religious imagery to highlight the romantic love between himself and Juliet. Their first conversation is an extended Christian metaphor. This holy shrine, the gentle sin, blushing pilgrims. His choice of religious imagery suggests their love can only be associated with God. Therefore, their love is pure and passionate, and as a result moves towards a more divine romantic love with Juliet and away from the artificial love with Rosaline. The noun pilgrim, relating to a pilgrimage, a holy journey to please God. Romeo views Juliet as his god and worships her, defying religion. Again in the extract, Benvolio tells Romeo to examine other beauties or look at more women instead of fixating on Rosaline. Shakespeare uses a lexical field of eyesight, reinforcing the fact that Romeo's love for Rosaline isn't genuine. The noun beauties referring to women is a prime example of the objectification of women and how they were only important in terms of their looks or wealth, critiquing the upper classes' attitudes in Elizabethan England. In terms of structure, Romeo participates in romantic love with Juliet, as their first speech is a 14-line sonnet with iambic pentameter, suggesting they were destined for each other. They complete each other. Ironically, the prologue is also a sonnet, outlining the lover's fate. When the sonnets are paired together, romantic love is intertwined with fate, foreshadowing the tragic hero's death. Shakespeare presents the theme of romantic love through the Elizabethan context. My true love is grown to such excess, half of my wealth, proves that the love between Romeo and Juliet is too brutal and powerful for their families to contend with, consequently resulting in their joint deaths. The audience is made aware of the lover's destined fate due to their romantic ideology, and in this period would be shocked to see Juliet defy her family and society as a whole. Furthermore, when the couple are trying to pursue their courtly love, their expressions of speech contrast when they describe their romantic love. Romeo is doubtful and acts in haste, his tragic flaw, hubris, whereas Juliet's naivety matures her. Throughout the play, In conclusion, the theme of romantic love is presented through the conflicted Romeo, who, as we know, experiences both unrequited and romantic love. As an audience, we see that the lover's death is symbolic of the ultimate sacrifice for love and emphasise the link between tragedy and true love. Also, the lover's deaths resolve the ongoing feud. Shakespeare attempts to initiate the importance of religion and equality of society. Ultimately, this is shown through both Romeo and Juliet ending up in heaven together. So you can see close analysis of the whole play, able to focus on the whole play at the start and then bring in the extract and then go back to the whole play. Key analysis of individual words, key analysis of language, the subject terminology is there, the context is there in terms of society, the patriarch and lover, and then you've got, I suppose, better language devices in the fact that you've got things mentioned like blazon, love, poetry and things like that. So I hope this has been useful, and massive good luck in your English literature exam.